Hello, my name is Dr. Osizwe Harwell, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner with Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. July is B.B. Moore Campbell Minority Mental Health Month all across the nation, and I'm excited to tell you about an important and relevant online workshop in honor of the late author, journalist, and mental health activist B.B. Moore Campbell. We are at a critical moment now in our nation and globally with an opportunity to address the violence and racial injustice that plagues us all. We know that 24% of all police shootings have a victim that is Black, and that's even although African Americans make up only 13% of the population. But did you know that 25% of police shootings involve someone with mental illness? So that means that an African American is 2.5 times more likely than a white person to be shot by police, but a person with mental illness is 16 times more likely to be shot by police. When this data intersects for African Americans who may have mental illness, the outcomes are more lethal than we may realize. Both for African Americans living with mental illness and those who simply struggle with the trauma and the stress of daily racism, or the emotional burden of social activism and the constant bombardment of violence in our news, this topic of mental health and wellness is essential to our survival. This is serious to say the least, but as we begin to realize that we all have a role to play in addressing the problem to make our world better for everyone, it's time to come together. So let's get together to talk about the impact of racism on mental health, the stress and trauma caused by racism, activist burnout, and more. Please join me on July 2nd at 6 p.m. for The Time Is Now and I Say Yes, a dialogue on mental health, racial justice, and me. The Time Is Now and I Say Yes, a dialogue on mental health, racial justice, and me. Together, we'll expand our knowledge, gain insight, and identify deliberate action to address the sustained impact of mental health issues and disparities in access, treatment, and unjust criminalization and violence against those with mental illness. I can't wait to see you. I hope you'll join me. Thank you.